that is what you were telling me. Correct.
Yeah. Okay. So retail basically our entire. So retail, a large part of the central office we have set up in Gurgaon. So yeah, so that's. But we haven't really shifted. There's no plan to shift. But the Gurgaon office is bigger than the Ahmedabad office.
Okay. So it's a good thing. So it will be both the Ahmedabad as well as Gurgaon.
Correct. So Gurgaon, we have the person who's actually leading this entire transformation. His name is Abhishek Khanna.
Okay.
So he is based out of Gurgaon only.
Okay.
And most of the middle management team is based there. But so Pranav, who's our CFO, group CFO, myself, and Ramesh, we continue to be based out of Ahmedabad, but we travel to Gurgaon.
हाँ, that is why you were saying कि 2 महीने वहाँ पे रखे सब setup करना था. I spoke to you a couple of months back.
Right.
Yeah, ठीक है. Okay. All otherwise everything is okay with you?
Yes, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Hello, Jeez.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, sir.
Good morning, Jeez.
Good morning.
I'm fine, sir.
So, Sudhir?
Yes, sir.
Ready? I think I see. Where is our guys? Yeah. Cyber is there?
They were there, Seval and Sangeeta. I was speaking to them.
Seval is in another meeting, sir. So I'm there.
Okay. So can we quickly understand what is the problem? Because now the target is there. We have a target time. We have to release this. We have a lenders meet coming up in January 23rd.
Right.
So if this can be released as a form of a booklet or something like that,
Yeah.
on that occasion, that would be the great thing. So
okay.
So we have another 1 month time is there, but then we have to put everything in order and print out it as a booklet. Sangeeta?
Yes, sir.
Because this whole idea came up in the last lenders meeting in Bombay, that there should be more, because microfinance sector, one of the lacuna which they talked about was the lack of transparency and the governance. So this is basically, we are aiming at plugging that kind of a gap. So if this can be released, should have been released much before, but then now at least let's plan it in a way that the next lenders meet which we are having on 23rd, on January 23rd, we can do that. Please note the date. 23rd January is our lenders meet at Mumbai.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, Sudhir.
I have captured everything. I want to hear from Gaurav if anything is what he thinks is to be added or deleted or how it should be. Okay, Gaurav, I just want to before we go into that, because I have spent a lot of time with the microfinance institutions, big and small MFIs, predominantly targeting the less 100 crores portfolio. AUM, should be very precise. Okay. And just started looking at what are these challenges, what are these institutions facing challenges in raising either the capital or the debt resource. So I met a couple of them in Bombay, and I had a couple of them interaction with them over a call, like Calcutta based or Northeast based, Tamil Nadu based, okay. And spoken to a couple of banks, which is public sector banks, private banks, NBFCs, and the large NBFCs and NBFCs. To 25 lakhs, 50 lakhs, and I also taken Simply's some point of view because I was not able to get Simply appointment because though I am in Bombay, but I was not able to get Simply appointment. Okay. So when I was going through all this, and I had personal interaction with a couple of banks in Bombay, like DCB, IndusInd Bank, ICICI Bank, SDFC, Kotak. And what they are saying, they have their own benchmarks of credit rating, BBB minus and above, and all this stuff. Okay. That's one criteria which gets nullified to mid and small MFIs. If you look at less than 100 crores AUM for MFIs, most of these guys will not qualify for a BBB minus rating at all. Okay. So then I started looking at that. What are these? Then I started looking at the rating agencies report, CRISIL, ICRA, CARES, MERA, MQuil. And then started evaluating what are these challenges. But if you look at the credit rating part, mostly credit rating, the documenting of the rationale is based on the financials or the cash flow or the asset quality and the preservation of asset quality and capital, mostly on capital and. But if I look at the MFI grading report of April and Kusin and all, there is some literature on government, some literature on MIS, some literature on portfolio at the branch level is not matching up and all this stuff. So all that after this discussion, I started putting down the points. If I am an MFI less than 100 crores, what will I do to get funding from the bank? Then I started putting these questions to the bank, and they said that if you are able to do this, then we may explore. They may still explore to, or I can be a prospective partner for them. But if it is triple minus rating, but still there is a caveat saying that if it is unrated, you can do rating within 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, 18 months, blah blah blah. And that's how. So four themes which came in limelight was one was transparency. The governing board of mid and small enterprise is I will not say weak. I will say in terms of microfinance experience or the financial consumer finance or any finance retail finance experience is limited. They are most coming from a social development background or they are coming from the developmental background. They have limited knowledge of MIS like asset quality, how you would move asset quality, how hidden delinquency needs to be captured, how if something goes wrong, what are the data needs to be captured. Banks are looking at what are the data looking at it, and then move towards micro level data. So I also connected with one credit bureau here, and then started looking at can a credit bureau give me a borrower specific data of MFI in red, yellow, green zone, which will help an MFI to protest saying that I have a 10 crore portfolio. Out of 10 crore portfolio, 8 crores is in green area, 2 crore, 1 crore in red, and 1 crore in yellow. So that the banker is comfortable saying that I'm giving a micro level data to the banker and saying that out of my 10 crore portfolio, 80 crore portfolio is in green, means limited competition of MFI where I dominate, where the microfinance dominate. So उस theme से, so based on that theme, the entire structure got I try to capture the entire structure. Basically on the management information system and transparency. What I have also seen is that couple of MFIs have taken ratings through grading from institutions where they have a governing board conflict of interest. Like some of the board members are in the rating agency or some bank, they are also on the board of the MFI. So there is a conflict of interest. So I was able to sensitize them, saying that going forward this will come as an interest to you because bankers today they will say rating like when you go and give the rating to them, they will say this is not the rating because the rating board member and your board member are same. So I want the rating of someone else. So that delays the entire process of decision making process is delayed. So I try to capture all that nitty-gritty what I have seen in my experience for last 20 years and speaking to many institutions in the recent past and try to capture it in the report. That is what I did. Basically, what are you?
So I think you've covered a lot of it, but a few areas which, and more specifically, I think need to be covered. So, for example, independent directors is not been touched upon. As I think this is something that truly independent directors, smaller MFIs can certainly bring on board, and board level committees. So a lot of these people have committees, but again, they don't have independent directors on those committees. Now, almost all these MFIs are companies regulated by the Companies Act, and now I don't know if you've read, ROC is coming down very heavily on companies who are not complying with independent direct requirement, especially audit committee and all that stuff. So I think that is something that we can bring out in this. I mean, I have listed down some points which I will send you specifically on the presentation which Sangeeta ji had shared last. It's a 10-pager presentation which I think you had prepared. So, so that is one. Second thing is that a few things like in the portfolio, is there any rescheduling there is any time? So rescheduled portfolio, what is the par? And so that is one. Second thing is a lot of what happens typically is that initially the portfolio cuts are shared. But then when any lender goes deeper into analyzing the data that has been shared, and they do a trend analysis of the portfolio cuts over a period of time, so the last 6 quarters or something like that, then there are mismatches. So there are certain specific formats which which almost every lender has developed, including ourselves, where we ask for data, and there should be no mismatch in that data. So things like that. So that is second thing. The third thing was yeah. So technology. They started. A lot of lenders have started relying. Relying on the robustness of the tech platform, the LOS LMS that is there, or decision making. So typically, it's a very standard requirement. Lender will go to a branch and they would want to see that the branch has real-time access to the branch's data, and whatever data they have gathered from the branch from the echo, that they are able to see it in the branch. So and if you are not able to do it, believe me, a lender will take a decision then and there that I will not lend to this company in case they are not able to see the LOS LMS in the branch when they are visiting in the diligence visit. So things like when they go to the head office also, they should be able to generate the reports at that time itself. So access, for example, there are MFIs who have given us viewing access to their entire portfolio. So of course they have hidden the client confidential data like phone number and address and all that stuff. But at least that gives us a lot of comfort that this company is completely transparent. They are giving us access to our portfolio and also the other portfolio, so that we can download it and do a dedupe to see if our portfolio has been hypothecated to somebody else. I mean, the portfolio that has been hypothecated is also hypothecated to somebody else. Or we can play around with the data to see if there is any evergreen that has been done. So this is access, real-time access to their system, at least for the portfolio that has been hypothecated to the lender. This is a very, very good point which they can do. And one more important point that came to my mind was I made a note. I'll come back to you on that.
I can gather it, and then if I require anything, I have anyway, you have your contact, and we can discuss in detail how
Correct. Yeah. So these are a few points which I think are very relevant to this diligence, how to clear a diligence and all that. It might not have a bearing on the rating. So rating, see, clearly rating agencies have a bias towards size. I mean, everybody has a bias towards size. Why rating agencies? Even lenders have a bias towards size. So, however good our transparent organization may be, less than 100 crore AUM organization will not get more than a double B or double B plus factors rating, depending on their capital position. But if our focus is on addressing the requirements or expectations of capital providers, be it debt or equity, then I think these are areas which should certainly reflect in this presentation. So I will send you a more specific list ASAP, most probably by end of day today itself, because a lot of that is free. And then you can. What I was saying is internal audit mechanism of theirs. So typically, what happens is that a lot of these organizations do not give internal audit mechanism the due importance that is required. So their own internal audit mechanism is weak, and it is an internal audit that if it is truly independent and it throws up issues in the field, predominantly around staff and client frauds. So that is something that if they have a proper mechanism in place, which is very important for the organization itself, for their own risk management itself. So that if they are able to do it and share the reports with lenders, that gives a lot of comfort. So I think these are a few things, areas that we can bring out in our presentation as well. So I had made a list the day Sangeeta ji had sent it. I send it to you on mail, marking everybody else. Then you can incorporate.
I think it's a lot of inputs from I think that will be good.
I'll send all the points that I have, sir. And then
So did you also have any discussion with Sigby? Sigby said you couldn't, but what about Nava?
No. NABARD, no.
I think you should, one of them, we should definitely meet. And being in Bombay, I can arrange for NABARD, I can definitely arrange. There's no
Yeah, please,
issue.
if you can, because I tried to
Even Sigby, you please talk to Chandramouli, he'll be able to help.
Who, sir?
He's the person.
Sigby who?
The GM is there, Mr. Chandramouli.
Chandramouli. Okay.
Chandramouli, you take my reference, you tell him and then you talk to him. I tell you, I give his number. Chandramouli is Chandramouli number is 98840
Okay.
45379.
45379.
He is a general manager in charge of SFMC.
Oh,
Means
fine.
looking after this financing part of it. And in NABARD, I will give you. NABARD, you please talk to. Just a minute, just 1 minute. I think. Yeah, please take. Yeah, one. Nivedita Tiwari is there.
Okay.
Nivedita Tiwari.
Okay.
She is a general manager, of course, she is now already empaneled for senior, but she can help you out. Her number is 9999 71 5220.
So, Kritika Deval, she is the Department of Risk, Refinance?
The Department of Refinance. Department of Refinance.
You are. Okay.
Door. Either him, other her, or I will give you another person's number. Ramesh Kumar. 9866 249
9866
678 678.
Okay.
I think he is the person. I think forget about the image there. I think he is the right person. He is Ramesh Kumar.
Ramesh Kumar. 9866249678.
9866249678. She is looking after the LT repairs. The other lady is looking after something else. So Ramesh is the right person. He is general manager. Okay. So talk to Ramesh Kumar and Chandramouli and give both of them my reference and tell that we are developing a transparency manual for the purpose of benefiting the individual MFIs and we are planning to release it on 1st January. So talk to them. Get that. And bank, did you also talk to anybody in statement?
Yes. The first contact was State Bank of India.
Okay.
I spoke to State Bank of India, Bank of Baroda on public sector, private sector, ICICI, Kotak.
That is good enough. That's good enough.
CC and all that.
So now, Governor was giving a lot of good points.
Right.
Basically, from the real latest point of view, he has given a very honest thing. And these two, Sydney and Nabad, if you can have a look at that, if you can get that, if you can go there, both are in the same place only, but because you
Exactly, nearby only, I know that.
and tell these people, Ramesh is a good friend of mine and Chandramouli is a good friend of mine. Talk to them and tell them. Okay.
No, I'll do that, I will.
Okay.
Okay. Gaurav, अपने को this data of
So I'm just looking.
Fine, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah. I will take a couple of minutes of yours, Gaurav. In the red, green, yellow wala data will not be difficult for MFIs to provide. Will you do that?
No, sir. That should not be difficult.
That will not be difficult, huh?
Sir, MFIs have all the data. They don't provide.
That is the chapter. So when I wanted to speak to one guy, I asked red, green, yellow, बोलता है ये क्या होता है? मतलब वो ये तो this is the Bible of microfinance institution. तुम ये पूछेगा ये क्या होता है? मैं क्या करेगा? So ठीक है
वो पूरा उनके पास होता है, उनके पास, I mean, they know everything. They know, see, they are practitioners for so many years.
correct
So I mean, so they, I mean, I'm not getting to the reason, I'm not getting to the right or wrong. They also, given their experience, at times, maybe they're right and not being completely transparent and sharing. We've had challenges where, organizations who have been transparent and honest have actually suffered. But anyways, without getting into all those things, practical points you can give, which I think the MFIs should give. I'm also taking into consideration equity. I mean, basically, what happens is if they are able to share all these things, now this means they have robust systems and processes in place, which are very important for an organization to have to scale up.
correct
So let us say if there are some 5-6 building blocks required to be put in place, one of them being capital, which I have no control over, I'm going to capital provider. If I have put the other 4 building blocks out of 5 in place, I'm just demonstrating that. So these points are targeted towards that.
right
Yeah, debt. Most of these people are quite successful in raising debt, and now bulk of the growth has slowly started coming from managed portfolio for other organizations. So much larger organizations, small finance banks and NBFCs. So anyways, these small finance banks and NBFCs have their own LOS, LMS. They come with their own workflows and exclusive branches. So they have reasonably good amount of control over the operations of their.
right
So, the struggle is to actually raise equity and build your grow your own. That's the real challenge which MFIs are facing. Otherwise, gradually they will just become easy for somebody else.
yeah so I was speaking to someone that they was saying now peer-to-peer lending peer-to-peer lending institutions also providing this kind of portfolio. They are lending to something up to 27-28%. And
So yeah.
all because the lending criteria is not there, the cap is not there. I can charge the way which based on my pricing. Couple of MFAs told me that. I said how risky it is. He said sir मेरे को पैसा चाहिए मेरे को पैसा मिलेगा. And I'm able to reply.
So B2B is not much, but a few small finance banks are quite aggressive in appointing other MFIs as VCs. So there are 3-4 SFBs that are really aggressive, plus a few NBFCs also.
Okay.
They are quite aggressive in appointing small MFIs as their VCs. So growth is coming from there only. They have reduced the FLDG requirement to as low as 2-2.5%.
Correct.
So an MFI is able to meet that.
ठीक है, sounds good. Yeah, मुझे भेज दे and then I will capture it again and I'll resend it to you just to have a look whether I have captured all the points, the appropriate cases, and if you have any further you want. Okay.
Sure. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you, Sangeeta.
Thank you.
संगीता जी
हाँ जी
आप जरा कॉल करिए मैंने क्या राकेश कुमार जी का नंबर गलत लिखा है तो मेरे को आप नंबर निकाल के दीजिए.
okay
Sure. Bye.
okay
Yeah.
okay thank you. राकेश के कौन सा?
राकेश कुमार नवाड़.
अच्छा मुझे तो रमेश कुमार है. रमेश कुमार
सॉरी रमेश कुमार 9866249678 लिखा है.
98
66
9866 9624
9678.
9678.
इनका नंबर मेरे को शायद डाउटफुल लग रहा है, एक बार निकाल के देंगे आप प्लीज.
हाँ मैं एक मिनट सर से पूछ के आती हूँ. मेरे पास नहीं है.
हाँ पूछ क्या.
Hi Sudhir, how are you?
Good, beta.
How was your this meeting?
It was great.
How is this here? Relax, यार. Chill मारना था.
This meeting, today's meeting.
अच्छा, today's meeting.
Hmm.
Today's meeting was good. So he has given me all lenders what जो lenders देखते हैं. Reschedule, internal audit, portfolio cards.
सर नहीं है, अपने प्लेस पे हैं, मैं आपको फिर पूछ के मैसेज कर
हाँ
दूंगा।
आप मुझे व्हाट्सएप कर दीजिएगा संगीता जी,
हाँ जी,
WhatsApp
हाँ
पे
जी।
आप मुझे शेयर कर दीजिए।
ठीक है सर,
ठीक है,
ठीक
मैंने
है।
शायद गलत लिखा है, उन्होंने 2 बार रिपीट किया लेकिन मैं कंफ्यूज हो गया वो क्या नंबर बोल रहे हैं,
अच्छा,
क्योंकि जो नंबर उनका आवाज कट रहा था।
ओके ओके।
I'm also thinking that if possible, I will give you like 5 minutes in our this lenders meet.
अब देना 5 मिनट क्या करेगा, मेरे को आधा घंटा दे, 5 मिनट में क्या करेगा?
Oh, oh, oh,